today we're going to start 3-1, which is all about expressions to equations. So there are different types of equations out there. There are true equations.
A true equation has equivalent expressions on each side of the equal sign.
So an equation is going to have that equal sign in it, okay? Where expressions do not have an equal sign. So 12 times 2 is equal to 24. Well, is 24 equal to 24? Yes, so that is a true equation.
A false equation has expressions that are not equivalent on each side of the equal sign.
So they're going to have you relate this to a balance beam. So if you think about a balance beam, it looks something like this, right? So you have your balance, then your beam. So if there's 24 cents here and 24 cents over here, will it balance out? Yeah, it will, okay? But then if we look at this false equation, if we have 12 plus 2, well, 12 plus 2 is 14. And if we have our balance beam, is 14 equal to 24? No, our balance beam would look something, like this, where 24 is at the bottom over here, because they're not equal. That equal sign is not true, so it's a false equation. Okay, there's also something called an open sentence.
An open sentence is an equation that includes one or more variables.
So if we have 12x equals 24, in chapter 3, we're going to learn how to solve for x. Well, we know that a number next to a variable means multiplication. So what number times 12 equals 24? We're going to be talking about that in chapter 3. A solution is...
A solution of an equation is a value of the variable that makes the equation true.
So here, since the value 2, because 12 times 2 equals 24, makes this open sentence a true statement or true equation, 12 times 2 equals 24, 2 is the solution of 12x plus 24. So let's go on to part 1.
An equation is a mathematical sentence that includes an equal sign to compare two expressions.
So it's important to notice a few key words in here. It has an equal sign, so our equal sign is right here. And on the left of an equal sign is an expression, and on the right is also an expression. So what is 8 plus 4? Well, 8 plus 4 is 12. And then they have an equal sign. And 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is also 12. Is 12 equal to 12? Yes, so this expression, 8 plus 4, has the same value as this expression, 4 plus 4 plus 4. They want to know which are expressions and which are equations. So go ahead and remember to underline equations. An equation has an equal sign. An expression does not. So when we think about algebraic expressions and numerical expressions that we discussed in chapters 1 and 2, okay, those did not have equal signs. So as you go through these, I want you to go ahead and freeze your screen, and anything with an equal sign, I want you to drag to equations or write in this equations box. And anything with a plus sign, minus sign, anything but an equal sign needs to go in expressions. So go ahead and freeze your screen and write those in expressions or equations. Okay, so here, this has an equal sign. 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 And the rest are all expressions because they do not have an equal sign in it. An expression does not have an equal sign, where equations do. Make sure those are in your notes.
Which are equations?
So go ahead and circle the ones that are equations. Which ones have equal signs in them? Okay, and then we're going to go on to part 2.
One $5 bill is equivalent to 5 $1 bills.
This has a $5 value, And this has a $5 value when you add those all together.
5 $1 bills are not equivalent to 5 quarters.
So if you give me $5 and I give you 5 quarters in return, that is not fair. They're not equivalent.
12 eggs are equivalent to 1 dozen eggs. 1 dozen eggs is not equivalent to 1 egg.
Okay, so if I brought donuts in one day and I say, okay, I'll bring you in a donut, would you much rather have 1 donut or a dozen donuts? Okay, a dozen is not the same as 1.
Equivalent expressions always have the same value.
So 2 times 12 and 20 plus 4 are both equal to 24. 5W and 2W plus 3W is the same as 5W. Over here, 2 times 12, which is 24, and 2 plus 12 are not the same. And 5W and 5 plus W are not the same.
I just poured the last of the milk into my glass and it's half full. What? You think it looks half empty? Well, you're right. A glass that's half full is equivalent to a glass that's half empty. But I like to keep things positive.
All right. They want us to use the graphic organizer. Write pairs of equivalent expressions.
Sometimes equivalent expressions don't look alike, but by using the properties of operations you learned in topic 2, you can rewrite them so they do.
So this one wants us to use the distributive property. So if I do the handshake method, which means multiply, what is 5 times 3W? Well, 5 times 3 is 15. So if I have 5 times 3W, that would be the same as 15W. Okay, so we have this one and we have this one. What else? If I have 25W and I take away 15W, what do I have left? Oh, I forgot my W. Well, 25 minus 15 is 10, and I need to add my W, so it's 10W. What else do I have up here? What about 3 times 10? Well, 3 times 10 gives me 30. Do any of these other ones up here give me 30? Well, 2 times 15 will also give me 30. So these are all different expressions that will help us out because they're going to end up balancing our beam, meaning they're equal. They will balance our beam. They have the same value. Go ahead and copy these down in your notes. Freeze the screen if you need to.
Which expressions are equal? Expression 1, 16 times 2. Expression 2, 24 plus 8. Expression 3, 4 times 4.
Well, 4 times 4 is 16. What's 24 plus 8? Well, 24 plus 8, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. What's 16 times 2? Well, if I have 16 and I'm multiplying it by 2, 6 times 2 will give me 12. Carry my 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So which of these are equivalent? 1 and 2. Make sure you copy that in your notes.
Are the expressions 12 times A plus the quantity 6 plus 3 times A and 3 times the quantity 5 times A plus 2 equivalent? Explain.
So let's talk about it. This second one I love because it's the distributive property. So what is 3 times 5A? Well, 3 times 5 is 15. I need to include my A and bring down my plus sign. What is 3 times 2? Well, 3 times 2 is 6. So that's one expression. Let's look over here. Can I combine any like terms in here? So I have 12 apples, I have 6, and then I have 3 apples. Well, what's 12 apples plus 3 apples? 12 plus 3 gives me 15 apples. Okay, plus my 6. Are they equivalent? Yes. They're the same. When you figure out what they're equal to by the distributive property and by moving these around, you are more than welcome to figure out that 15a plus 6 is the same as 15a plus 6. On to part 3.
The path to the lake has been rigged with paintballs. If you step on the wrong flagstone, a paintball covers you in yellow paint. So far, 3 people in your group have yellow on their clothes. Can you find the correct path? The equations with a solution of 10 mark the correct path. Drag footprints to each safe flagstone.
So I'm going to go ahead and restart a new video because we only have 3 minutes left. So go ahead and you can try solving this on your own. Okay, go back to my Weebly and start the next video so we can make sure you have the correct answers.